Redlationship fam! How was your day? I'm Frank, and we're taking the scenic route today to enjoy some truly top-tier stories from the Reddit community. Roll down the window by hitting that like button, and maybe subscribe too? Let's get into today's story. Today's story comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit again. And the title is, Am I the Asshole for wanting my son to move back closer to his family? Hi everyone! This is my first post on Reddit, and English is not my first language, so I apologize in advance for any mistakes I might make. I am a 56-year-old woman, and I live with my husband, who is 64. We have only one son, who is 33. He currently lives abroad, and we only see him once a year because it is very far away and expensive to travel. We live in a small town. He moved away when he was 18 for college and simply never came back. We fully expected him to move back home after he graduated, but he decided to stay where he was because he already had a job and a girlfriend there. The woman who is now his wife. Our town is close to our state's capital, where his field of work is very strong. Ever since his senior year in college, I have been trying to convince him to move closer for a better career and to stay close to his family. He never showed any interest, which I find odd, especially since his wife works in the same field. Then, 4 years ago, they moved abroad. I felt completely betrayed when he told me. He was already living 3 hours away from us. Why would he choose to go even further to another country, rather than the city right next to us? I never said anything at the time, besides letting them know that his father and I are always here if they need us. Until recently, things were fine. I miss him a lot. We text every day, but we do not get to speak to each other often. However, the problem now is my father. He is 84 years old, his health has taken a dive, and he is very fragile. With my son living so far away, he is missing precious time he could be spending right here. His grandfather is not likely to live many more years. I told the news to my son, and he was sad about it. He came to see us and left just a week ago. While he was here, I was honest with him. I told him that his grandfather will not stay with us for much longer. And since he lives so far away, he will lose the opportunity to be close and enjoy the time he has left. He was not happy about me touching on this matter. He said I was trying to guilt him into moving back. I asked him why he was doing this to me. Why doesn't he miss me and his dad? We are getting old, and he is only seeing us once or twice a year. It feels cruel to us. He said he missed us, but he is happy where he is and does not plan on moving back. In fact, he and his wife are already making plans to buy a house where they live. I could not take it anymore, and I burst out crying. I told him I felt abandoned, that he did not seem to care for us, and that he should enjoy his family while he can because we will not be here forever. I asked what makes him think he cannot be happy living here, but he did not respond. The few days after this argument were very awkward. After he left, he seemed to be even more distant, avoiding me and being very short in his texts. Yesterday, his wife called me. She said my son was feeling bad and had told her what happened. She called me an asshole and said I had no right to try to manipulate him like that, and that I should be ashamed. I do not think I am the asshole for wanting my son closer to me. I think they are the ones in the wrong for abandoning their family. And I am including her in this, since she did the same thing to her own parents, even though her mother is on my side. I get that OP loves her son a lot, but let's be fair about one thing. She's handling this all wrong. Everyone can sympathize with a mother missing her son when he lives so far away, and she only gets to see him once or twice a year. But OP has turned that longing into something toxic by starting to manipulate him. Think about it. The guy is 33 years old. Is OP really using guilt and her own feelings to mess with a grown man's career and marriage decisions? She's even using the grandfather's old age as an excuse and trying to drag her son's mother-in-law into the whole mess. I've got to say, it's clear OP has zero respect for her son's own life and the choices he's made. For me, loving someone doesn't give you the right to own them. At 33, he's not a little boy anymore. He's a man with his own responsibilities and his own family to look after. If OP keeps pushing him like this, she's not going to bring him closer. She's just going to drive him further away. She needs to step back and realize that being a good mother means letting go, not holding on until it hurts everyone involved. I say this from a place of experience. I have a son myself, a few years younger than OP's boy, and I made the hard choice to stop the coddling when he turned 22. It wasn't easy, but that was the age I realized he was grown enough to walk his own path, even if that path led him away from my front porch. I had to trust the man I raised to find his own footing. It's better to be a parent they want to visit, rather than a parent they feel obligated to endure. A commenter said to OP that, "You're the asshole. To be clear, you aren't the asshole for feeling sad that your son lives far away. That's a valid feeling. However, you are the asshole for constantly trying to guilt him into moving back when he's made it clear that isn't going to happen. Adults get to choose for themselves where they want to live and what career they want to pursue. Your son isn't required to move close to you." Another person expressed their concern below. It said, "Did anyone else get the feeling the son needs distance from OP because OP probably pulled this manipulative bullshit all the time while raising him?" And another replied, "Yep, she is parentifying him, being expected to provide emotional support or practical support for a parent instead of receiving that support themselves." A commenter said, "Oh my goodness, he left home 15 years ago. He has a marriage, a life, and a career in another country. He is never coming back, and expecting him to move, for any reason at all, is just absurd. It isn't cruel for a 33-year-old to have his own life. Sadly, you're the asshole." One person agreed that, "Not the asshole for wanting to be close with your son. You're the asshole for pressuring him to move near you. No one is really an asshole here. This situation is just sad all around." After 5 months, OP came back with a long update. It said, "Hello again. I wanted to provide you all with an update since my original post gained a lot of attention and sparked various discussions, some of which were unfortunately rude and disrespectful. Since my last post, a lot has happened. I improved my relationship with my son and his wife, switched therapists, started treatment for my anxiety and depression, and sadly, I lost my father. Things really started to turn around when I decided to change therapists. After a few sessions with the new one, their approach allowed me to come to terms with the fact that my son's values, his perspective on the world, and his life objectives will never align with mine. And that's okay. It was a tough realization, but an important one. During therapy, I also discovered that my anxiety was way more severe than I thought, and I never treated it. I started taking medication, and after a few months, I was feeling a lot better about my son living away. Moreover, my therapist helped me understand a crucial aspect of my life. I had been living under the weight of guilt, giving up on so many plans for the sake of my own parents. A silly example? When my husband and I got married, I wanted to get a cat, but my father always hated cats. I thought to myself, my father despises felines. It wouldn't be fair to him to have a cat in our home. What if they come to visit? I wouldn't be a good daughter. When I recounted this story to my therapist, they were shocked at how normal I thought that was. This was just one of many instances where guilt dictated my decisions. Both of my parents were masters at instilling guilt, and I had internalized it over the years. Regarding the main point of the original post, I wanted my son to continue living close to me, and he didn't. In my misguided attempts to enforce my desires, I resorted to guilt-tripping him repeatedly, because that's how I was taught. It's what I knew. I now see how wrong and unhealthy that behavior is. While I may never fully understand or relate to the idea of living far away from family, and it still hurts, I've come to accept that this is my issue to grapple with, not my son's burden. I'm determined to confront this challenge alone and refuse to allow it to dictate my happiness. After my father passed away suddenly, my son wanted to come to his funeral. However, it would be so exhausting for him, not to mention expensive. So I told him there was no need to come. He could stay put and we would get together and remember Grandpa another time. I was surprised with myself. In other times, I would have guilted him into coming as fast as he could. In conclusion, I want to thank those who were respectful for the wake-up call and the discussions that unfolded from my initial post. It has been an enlightening journey of self-discovery and growth. I'm committed to continuing my progress and learning how to prioritize my own well-being while respecting the choices of those around me. Edit at the same day. Thank you everyone for the awesome reception of my post. I wasn't expecting this much love. I want to address one point that everyone seems to be commenting on. Yes, my husband and I will adopt a cat. We need to secure our house first, as we plan on keeping it indoors for its safety. So we will catify the environment the best we can. I've been watching a lot of Jackson Galaxy videos. Wow, it's rare to see an update that feels this much like a breath of fresh air. You know, it takes a lot of guts to look in the mirror at 56 and realize you've been doing it all wrong. OP didn't just change her mind, she changed her entire wiring. The moment she connected her own anxiety to her father's controlling nature, scared to even get a cat in her own damn house, it all clicked for me. That wasn't love she was taught, it was compliance. And then, the real test came with the funeral. Instead of using that death as one final guilt trip, which the old OP absolutely would have done, she chose kindness. She chose her son's peace over her own neediness. That is what breaking a generational curse looks like. It's never too late to stop being your parents and start being yourself. I hope that cat brings her all the joy she's been denying herself for decades. One person expressed that, "Wow, that is so much growth. Congratulations on doing that very hard work in therapy. I'm proud of you. I do hope you and your son are able to build a relationship that meets everybody's needs. Best of luck, and thank you for the update." Besides, most of comments cared about cats, like, "Get 2 cats, just in case one is a bit of a dick." I grew up with a cat always in the house. First thing that happened when I moved out of my mom's house was get a cat. My partner and I have one each now. Wouldn't live without one. It just wouldn't feel like home. Also, get a boy cat. They can get super affectionate towards their human. Or, ragdolls are good for your mental health. Or, will you get a cat? Etc. Now it's your turn. What do you think about all of this? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here today with Frank. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.